The diplomatic hall of the Intergalactic Council gleamed with polished obsidian floors that reflected the bioluminescent ceiling above. Dominic stood near the refreshment alcove, nervously adjusting his Earth Federation uniform collar. This was his first assignment as a cultural liaison, and he was already sweating through his dress shirt. "Stop fidgeting," Ellie whispered, appearing at his elbow with 2 glasses of something that sparkled like liquid starlight. "You're representing humanity here. Act like you've seen aliens before." "I have seen aliens before," Dominic protested, accepting the drink. "Just not her." Ellie followed his gaze across the hall to where Ambassador Jethira held court among a cluster of diplomats. The draconian woman was impossible to miss, scales that shifted from deep emerald to sapphire depending on the light, elegant horns that curved back from her temples, and most notably, a magnificent tail that swept behind her like a living work of art. It was easily 8 feet long, muscular yet graceful, covered in iridescent scales that seemed to hold entire galaxies within their shimmer. "The Draconians are our most important potential allies," Ellie reminded him. "The Council won't approve Earth's petition for full membership without their support, so whatever you do, don't screw this up." "I know." Dominic took a sip of his drink and immediately regretted it. It tasted like cinnamon mixed with electricity. "Ambassador Jethira is known for being particular about human behavior," Ellie continued. "Her species has been spacefaring for 50,000 years. They invented the quantum fold drive when we were still banging rocks together. So be respectful, be humble, and for the love of Dominic Chen." A voice like wind chimes and distant thunder rolled across the hall. Dominic's heart stopped. Ambassador Jethira was gliding toward them, her tail undulating behind her in mesmerizing S-curves. Up close, she was even more intimidating, easily 7 feet tall, with eyes that glowed like molten gold. "Ambassador," Dominic managed, bowing awkwardly. "It's an honor." "I've been reviewing your credentials," Jethira said, her lipless mouth somehow forming perfect standard English. "You studied xenobiology and interspecies cultural dynamics at Mars University. Impressive for one so young." "Thank you, Ambassador." Tell me, Mr. Chen," she interrupted, her tail swishing in what might have been amusement or annoyance. "What is humanity's greatest weakness in joining the galactic community?" It was a test. Dominic could feel Ellie tensing beside him. "Our inexperience," he said carefully. "We've only been in space for 2 centuries. We have much to learn," a diplomatic answer. Jethira's eyes narrowed. "But I asked what you think, not what you think I want to hear." Dominic swallowed hard. In his peripheral vision, he could see other delegates turning to watch. This moment would define Earth's future, no pressure. "Our greatest weakness," he said slowly, "is that we don't know it's a weakness. Humans are impulsive. We make decisions based on emotion, on gut instinct, on hope rather than logic. We're messy and unpredictable, and we rush into things without fully understanding the consequences." The hall had gone quiet. Ellie looked like she wanted to strangle him, but Jethira's tail had stopped moving. "Go on," and honestly, Dominic felt something reckless stirring in his chest. "I think that's also our greatest strength. Every species I've studied in the Council achieved spaceflight through pure logic, through careful calculation and centuries of planning. Humans, we strapped ourselves to controlled explosions because we looked at the stars and said, 'I wonder what's up there.' We're the only species crazy enough to think that weakness and strength might be the same thing." The silence stretched. Jethira stared at him with those burning gold eyes. Then her tail began to move again, but differently. It coiled and uncoiled in an intricate pattern, scales catching the light in cascading rainbows. "Fascinating," she murmured. "Do you know what this means, Mr. Chen?" Dominic glanced at Ellie, who looked equally confused. "No, Ambassador. Among my people, tail language is our most ancient form of communication. What I'm expressing right now." She paused, and something that might have been a smile crossed her reptilian features. "It's profound respect, admiration, even in 50,000 years of galactic diplomacy, you are the first alien to acknowledge weakness and strength as 2 sides of the same scale." Jethira's tail movements became more elaborate. "My species evolved every weakness out of our genome over millennia. We made ourselves perfect, logical, calculated, and in doing so we lost something, that beautiful, terrible impulsivity that drives innovation. That willingness to fail spectacularly." She leaned closer, her tail now swirling in patterns that seemed almost excited. "I've been watching humans for decades," she continued. "Your music that celebrates heartbreak, your stories about heroes who succeed by breaking every rule, Your insane tendency to adopt predatory animals as pets and call them good boys. You people are wonderfully magnificently broken, and you've somehow convinced yourselves that it's normal. Dominic found himself actually laughing, at an ancient dragon ambassador who could probably incinerate him with a thought. So when you looked at my tail earlier, Jathira said, her voice dropping to something almost playful, and your biometric readings spiked with what your people call aesthetic appreciation when you thought, quite clearly through your terrible poker face, that it was the most beautiful thing you'd ever seen. That wasn't an insult. That was the most human reaction possible. Pure, unfiltered wonder. Ellie made a choking sound. Dominic felt his face burning. I can read body language, Mr. Chan, and your species' emotional transparency is delightful. Jathira's tail performed one final, elaborate flourish. Consider this. The Draconian Imperium will support Earth's petition for full council membership. Not because you've earned it through logic or achievement, but because you people are exactly the kind of beautiful chaos this galaxy needs. She turned to leave, then paused. Also, Mr. Chen, my tail thanks you for the compliment. It's been feeling rather fabulous today, as Jathira glided away, leaving a trail of sparkling scale dust in her wake. Dominic stood frozen in place. Ellie finally found her voice. Did we just get humanity into the Galactic Council because I thought an alien's tail was pretty? Dominic finished. Yeah, I think we did. Humanity. Fuck yeah, Ellie whispered, raising her glass. Dominic clinked his glass against hers, still staring after the dragon ambassador whose tail swayed with what could only be described as a swagger. Maybe being beautifully, magnificently broken wasn't such a bad thing after all.